Good morning. I'm the Reverend Dr. William L. Johnson III, chaplain here at Christian Hospital Northeast in St. Louis, Missouri. Welcome once again to our morning meditation. As often as we do, we share these words of encouragement. We hope they are words of encouragement and of inspiration. Today's morning meditation is going to be a short one, but I think a powerful one indeed. At least it spoke to me. And this is for all of us who have found ourselves at the end of our rope, all of us who have grown exhausted with the journey, most of us, many of us who've committed ourselves to whatever it is that we do, whether it's healing, whether it's helping, whether it's holding up other people, and have found ourselves now trying to make that goal that we've been looking after, attempting to achieve for so long. But we're running out of gas, like those who are running track or the long distance runners have found themselves at the end of the race trying to push themselves to the finish line. Many of us have found ourselves there. We have done the best we could in our families, done the best we could in our respective organizations or in our communities, or maybe even in our life goals, whatever they may be. And we found ourselves at the end of our rope or giving out the best that we've had and almost at the point of just kind of throwing up our hands saying we may not be able to make it to the thing that was most important to us, the goal in which we wanted to reach. Well, this message is for you. And I want to talk with you for a few moments about what we have entitled Taking the Extra Step. Taking the Extra Step. Often on our journey, we may find ourselves starting out with a mad dash, but many of us who've had some experiences have known that, it's not the sprint that wins the race, but sometimes we have to prepare ourselves for the marathon, the long distance run. So we pace ourselves. And even in that, there are extenuating circumstances that come into our pathway that often delay our ability to make it to the end or to the finish line or to achieve that in which we work so hard for. Maybe that detour, maybe that difficulty, maybe that obstacle that has stood in your way. It may be a person, it may be a place, it may be a thing, it may be an illness, it may be a sort of set of circumstances that are beyond your control, or maybe it may be just you. Maybe it's like me. I've had moments in which it's just me. It wasn't anyone else's responsibility or fault. I just couldn't get there. I couldn't make the last game-winning shot. I didn't work hard enough to try to get that promotion. Or I had it in my reach, but if I had gone the extra mile, if I had taken the extra step, maybe things would be different. And for all of us who have found ourselves there, I want to share this message with you. It's important, yes, to try to take the extra step. Give the best that you have and the best effort that you have. But the extra step, the best step you have is the only one that you have. And then you give the all that you have when you have those moments. In other words, there's something to be said about giving the best of yourself. And when you've done the best you can, and when you've given your all, and when you've taken the extra step, whatever that is for you, be resolved and satisfied that you've done your very best. There are some things in life that come to us that we wish would turn out differently. I was looking and watching the Cardinals play in the playoffs. They had given so much during the season. Albert Pujols with hitting 700 home runs. No one expected that. Just to break the record and to break into a threshold of a choice few was enough. And so many things happened during the course of the past year for the baseball Cardinals. But what we also found out that we also cheered for them because we've all reached that place where we know that the end of a thing is coming and we want to give our very best and hope that it will be good enough. And I want to say to you that when you've given your very best, then it is good enough. Many times we strive for things and try to accomplish things and lose ourselves in them. And when we don't make it or when it doesn't come out the way we want, we are so disappointed and we feel like we have failed. Some who are nurses or doctors in the hospital have given their best to try to cure patients or to help them to get through a very difficult illness, only to discover that the cancer came back, or the diagnosis was true, the prognosis was shorter rather than longer, or the difficulty ahead for the patient was too much. And maybe perhaps there are patients, those who have been dealing with an illness for a while, dealing with a disease, and hoping to beat it, hoping to overcome it, hoping to get beyond it. And some way you were trying the best that you could and only discovered that it didn't give you the results that you thought you would have. And now you have to deal with the reality of mortality being shorter than you ever thought. It's coming closer and coming sooner. Some of us have found ourselves at the end of things, end of relationships, end of a career, end of all those things that may happen. And it is hard to find meaning and deal with the existential reality that what it is that we were hoping for may not turn out the way we want it. This message is for you, because taking an extra step means that you don't really take it alone, but you find that you have given the best that you can, and everyone that's given the best that they could in any circumstance throughout history is cheering for you. Yeah, like a great cloud of witness, as you witness in the scripture, that finds that themselves looking over the balcony of heaven, cheering for you. All those who've gone on before us, all those who have tried the best that they could, all throughout history, grandparents and great-grandparents, uncles and aunts, brothers and sisters, those who were of a different era, a different age, those who started this country, those who've gone before us, ancestors long gone, are now on the other side saying, we all have found ourselves not making it to where we want it, but we took the extra step, and the extra step is the best that we can do. And when you've done that, you've done enough. In other words, my friends, what I'm trying to share with you is that you are exactly what you ought to be when you've given your very best. The question is whether or not each of us can examine ourselves enough honestly and say that I've given the best that I could. But if you have, then you've taken that extra step. And just because your legs won't let you do it, or just because your heart won't propel you into that, or just because as much as you tried to pass that exam or that test, it just didn't happen, don't beat yourself up. Destiny has itself wrapped around our effort in trying to give our very best. And when you've done that, then you can accept the way destiny plays out. I love the way Albert Pujols framed it. He says, I have some goals, but I'm going to do my very best. And when that's over, then it's okay. In other words, do your best. And when you've done that, to care for people, be kind to people, for the good things in life, you'll discover that life pays back dividends far beyond what we could have ever invested. Thank you so much for giving us your time. We want you to know that you're loved, you're appreciated, and you're irreplaceable. Keep on doing the best you can. Take the extra steps as much as you can, but when you're giving your best, know that it's okay. You've done the best you can. Be encouraged, because I am aware that when we've done the best we can, and we've done it with the right spirit and the right heart, then that's all that life can expect of us. And that's all that we really can expect of ourselves. Thank you. Have a great day and have a great week.